Welcome to the 1970s, where inflation was high, pants were flared, and gourmet meant mom added an extra slice of bologna to your sandwich. Today, we're diving into the struggle meals that 70s kids thought were fancy, and how they've somehow become Insta-worthy delicacies. Grab your fondue forks, folks. It's about to get nostalgic, and possibly nauseating. The potted meat sandwich, the culinary equivalent of a dare. This was the 70s answer to what's for lunch, when the grocery budget had run dry and mom's creativity was running on fumes. Imagine opening a can of what can only be described as mystery meat smoothie, its contents clinging to the lid like it was trying to escape its own fate. Harvest the meat paste. Dig out the gelatinous, pinkish-gray sludge with a butter knife. Try not to question why it smells like a bowling alley's snack bar. Slather on saltines. Because real bread was for rich people. Garnish with delusion. Call it gourmet because you didn't eat it straight from the can like a raccoon. The can said Armor Star, which sounded vaguely aristocratic. It was spreadable meat, a luxury usually reserved for fancy French charcuterie boards. You could pretend it was pâté if you served it on a paper doily. Hipsters now pay $22 for artisanal terrines that look and taste exactly the same. The Underwood deviled ham variant was the spicy upgrade, because nothing says heat like a vague paprika whisper. Some cans still pop up in dollar stores today because trauma is timeless. A sandwich that tasted like regret, but fancy regret. But if potted meat was the pâté of poverty, our next snack was the caviar of struggle. The peanut butter and saltine sandwich, the ultimate poverty protein bar. This was the snack that said, hey, we might not have much, but we've got peanut butter, and that's basically a superfood, right? It was like a taste sensation that combined the richness of peanut butter with the crunch of saltines, all on a budget that wouldn't break the bank, or even dent it, really. Gather your luxuries. A jar of peanut butter, off-brand because who needs Jif when you can have Skippy knockoff? And a box of saltines. Spread a generous amount of peanut butter on one saltine. Place another saltine on top. Voila! You've just created a sandwich that's equal parts satisfying and structurally unsound. Optional upgrade. Add a drizzle of honey if you're feeling fancy, or if your mom found a coupon for honey. The crunch of the crackers and the smoothness of the peanut butter made it feel like a gourmet experience. It was basically a protein shake in solid form. Peanut butter for protein, saltines for, well, salt. Versatility. You could eat it anywhere, on the couch, in the backyard, or even while walking to school, if you were feeling particularly adventurous. Today, hipsters pay $8 for artisanal peanut butter sandwiches at trendy cafes, complete with organic peanut butter and hand-baked crackers. Meanwhile, you're over here thinking, I had that for lunch in 1975, and it was 25 cents. But if peanut butter and saltines were the ultimate snack hack, our next treat was the caviar of cream cheese. The cream cheese and olive sandwich, the culinary equivalent of wearing a tuxedo t-shirt to a wedding. It was the we have hors d'oeuvres at home of the 70s, a dish that somehow convinced kids they were eating high tea at Buckingham Palace when, in reality, they were just eating cream cheese with jarred olives on Wonder Bread. The olives were technically pickled, which meant this sandwich had international flair. It tasted like the bottom of a martini glass. Bright green olives against stark white cream cheese made it look like abstract art, or possibly something that fell out of a Picasso painting. The texture, creamy, crunchy, and occasionally squeaky. A true sensory adventure. Step 1. Beat cream cheese with mayo and olive brine until it reaches spreadable consistency, or until you question your life choices. Step 2. Fold in sliced green olives. Step 3. Smear on bread and serve with a straight face, pretending this isn't just cheese-flavored glue with salty eyeballs in it. Thanks to TikTok and retro food nostalgia, this Depression-era relic is now trendy again. Upgrade it with Kalamata olives for a Mediterranean twist that Grandma would have called putting on airs. Everything bagel seasoning, so millennials feel something. Sourdough bread, because Wonder Bread is now a crime against humanity. A sandwich so divisive it could split a family reunion. Love it or hate it, it's proof that the 70s were a golden age of weird food we pretended was classy. But if olives and cream cheese were the caviar of struggle meals, our next snack was the poor man's crème brûlée. Ah, rice with butter and sugar. The dish that proved poverty could be delicious if you added enough sugar to numb the pain. This was the 70s version of gourmet dessert, a bowl of warm, carby comfort that somehow convinced kids they were eating something fancy when in reality, it was just butter and sugar playing dress-up with leftovers. It was basically rice pudding without the milk, or the effort. The sugar melted into the rice like a sweet, sticky glaze, and suddenly, you were eating dessert for breakfast. The more butter, the richer it felt. A generous pat turned it from sad leftovers to luxury porridge. Some families added cinnamon, raisins, or even a splash of milk if they were feeling extra bougie. Step 1. Cook white rice, preferably minute rice, because who had time for the real stuff? Step 2. Dump in a hilarious amount of sugar. Because if it's not sweet enough to make your teeth ache, you're doing it wrong. Step 3. Add a slab of butter so big it could double as a candle. Step 4. Stir aggressively while pretending this isn't just breakfast cereal for people who ran out of cereal. Rice was cheap, sugar was cheaper. Southern grandma magic, because everything tastes better with butter. Or a failed attempt at rice pudding that somehow became iconic. Thanks to TikTok food nostalgia, this struggle meal is now trendy again. Upgrade it with brown sugar for artisanal depth, coconut milk because regular milk was too 1972, and a sprinkle of sea salt so millennials can call it sweet-savory fusion. A dish so simple it's either childhood comfort or culinary crime, depending on who you ask. But one thing's for sure. No 70s kid ever complained when Mom busted out the sugar bowl. But if buttered rice was the poor man's crème brûlée, our next snack was the Kool-Aid connoisseur's cocktail. Green stuff. The official drink of Dad insisted it was healthy because it had juice in it. This unholy matrimony of green Kool-Aid and pineapple juice was the 70s answer to, how do we make sugar water look radioactive? It was less of a beverage and more of a science experiment, one that left kids vibrating with enough artificial energy to power a small disco ball. That unnatural emerald hue made it look like something a wizard would drink, or possibly Hulk sweat. Served in a cut glass punch bowl, red, stolen from Grandma's special occasions cabinet, it had party vibes, even if the party was just your uncle's musty basement. The sugar rush, one sip, and you'd go from 0 to feral raccoon in 3.5 seconds flat. Step 1. Dump a packet of lime Kool-Aid into a pitcher. Ignore the ingredients list. It's just red dye number 40's evil cousin anyway. Step 2. Add pineapple juice, the canned kind because fresh fruit was for rich people. Step 3. Stir violently while pretending this isn't just Hawaiian Punch's weird cousin. Step 4. Serve over ice and watch kids' pupils dilate like they've seen the face of God. Thanks to TikTok alchemy, this drink is now vintage craft mixology. Upgrade it with vodka in case you need to numb the childhood flashbacks, fresh mint to pretend it's sophisticated, and a glow stick for authentic 70s rave energy. A beverage so aggressively green it probably violated EPA guidelines. But hey, it had vitamin C if you squinted. But if green stuff was the elixir of hyperactive youth, our next snack was the couch potatoes crème de la crème. Ah, buttered noodles. The 70s answer to I'm too tired to cook, but the kids need carbs now. This was the dish that proved luxury is subjective, because when you're 7 years old, A bowl of noodles slicked with butter and dusted with questionable parmesan might as well be fettuccine at a five-star trattoria. The more butter, the richer it felt. A half-stick per bowl turned this into poor man's Alfredo.
Nice.
That shaky can parmesan, the kind that could survive a nuclear winter, added gourmet flair. Or at least, that's what Mom told you. The garlic salt upgrade. A sprinkle transformed it from sad side dish to Italian cuisine if you squinted. Boil noodles. Use whatever pastas left in the cupboard. Even the broken spaghetti nobody wanted.
Bruh.
Add a slab of margarine, because real butter was for company. Shake on orange-dusted parmesan until the noodles vaguely resemble food. Optional bougie touch. Garlic salt if you're feeling exotic, or ketchup if you're feeling tragic. Thanks to TikTok comfort food nostalgia, this struggle snack is now artisanal. Brown butter noodles. A fancy way to say I burnt the butter and deconstructed carbonara. Translation: I forgot the eggs and bacon.
What?
A dish so simple, it's either childhood comfort or culinary crime. But either way, it's still better than canned spaghetti. But if buttered noodles were the lazy gourmet's masterpiece, our next snack was the broke kid's charcuterie. The Ritz cracker and American cheese plate. The 70s answer to what if charcuterie. But sad. This was the snack that proved luxury as a state of mind. Because if you arranged your crackers just right, a 99-cent pack of store-brand cheese singles could feel like a 5-star hors d'oeuvre spread. Stacking Ritz crackers in a fan shape or a mini Eiffel Tower made it look like you meant to eat like this. That glorious gooey tear when you separated a slice of American cheese was the poor man's mozzarella moment. The salt-to-butter ratio.
Wow.
Ritz crackers were basically butter with a crunch, so adding cheese turned them into a gourmet experience. Or, at least, that's what you told yourself. Step 1. Unwrap a single slice of American cheese. Ignore the fact it's individually wrapped like a Band-Aid for your soul. Step 2. Tear it into 4 fancy triangles. Geometry equals elegance. Step 3. Place each triangle on a Ritz cracker like you're building a tiny edible throne. Step 4. Optional bougie upgrade. Add a drop of ketchup and call it gastrique. Thanks to retro food nostalgia, this struggle snack is now trendy. Ritz, Triscuits, and Saltines arranged on a slate board. Artisanal American cheese, now made by a guy named Jasper in Brooklyn. Micro-green garnish, because a single leaf of parsley makes it farm to table. A snack so simple, it's either nostalgic genius or a cry for help. But either way, it's still better than celery sticks. But if Ritz and cheese were the broke kid's charcuterie, our next snack was the lazy chef's crème de la crème. Vienna sausages. The ultimate, are we eating food or just committing crimes against cuisine? These tiny mystery meat tubes were the protein choice of broke parents, campers, and kids. Vienna sounded European and sophisticated, even though these things were about as Austrian as a Walmart parking lot. The portability. No refrigeration? No problem. These came pre-bathed in meat jello, so they were basically self-preserving. The gourmet gelatin, that mystery slime they floated in. Some folks drank it like a bone broth shot. Others gagged and vowed to never speak of it again. Step 1. Stab the can with a butter knife to break the vacuum seal. Try not to think about why it hisses like it's alive. Step 2. Fish out a sausage with your fingers. Forks were for rich people. Watch in horror as it disintegrates at the slightest touch. 3. Optional rinse underwater if you're prissy about meat jelly. Step 4. Eat cold, because cooking would be too much effort for something this questionable. Pinky out, because you peeled them first like a true sophisticate. Thanks to irony and nostalgia, these meat candles are making a niche return. Deconstructed hot dogs, red still in the can. Retro camping cuisine, now with organic gelatin. Trailer park tapas, served on Ritz crackers naturally.
Hell yeah!
A snack so divisive, it could split a family reunion. Love it or hate it, Vienna sausages are proof that the 70s were a lawless era for food. But if Vienna sausages were the lunchbox dare, our next snack was the sweetest lie Mom ever told. Cinnamon sugar toast. The 70s answer to what if dessert, but breakfast. This was the snack that turned stale bread and pantry scraps into gourmet pastry, proving that sugar could make even the saddest slice of Wonder Bread feel like a 5-star French brioche. That crispy, caramelized crust made it feel like you were eating a croissant, if croissants were made by a sleep-deprived mom at 7 a.m. Watching the butter melt and sugar crystallize under the broiler was like edible chemistry, with a 50% chance of burning the house down. A dash of vanilla if you were bougie, or brown sugar if you were fancy poor, transformed it into artisanal toast. Yeah. Step 1. Toast bread. Step 2. Slather with room temp butter, or margarine if you were fiscally responsible. Step 3. Dump cinnamon sugar like you're trying to give the dentist job security. Okay. Step 4. Broil until the sugar bubbles like a witch's cauldron, or until the smoke alarm goes off. Thanks to TikTok food nostalgia, this struggle snack is now trendy. Brown butter cinnamon dust, aka burnt butter. Himalayan sugar crust, it's just fancy sand. A snack so simple, it's either childhood magic or a dental hazard. But either way, it's still better than plain toast. But if cinnamon toast was the broke kid's bakery, our next snack was the lazy chef's Michelin star. Fried Spam, the ultimate I'm broke, but I'm fancy snack of the 1970s. This was the dish that proved even the humblest of canned meats could be transformed into a gourmet experience with just a little bit of oil and a lot of imagination. The crispy exterior. That golden brown crust made it feel like you were eating bacon, if bacon came in a can and had a 50% chance of being mystery meat. You could serve it with eggs and toast for breakfast, mashed potatoes for dinner, or just on its own as a snack. Because, hey, who needs sides when you have Spam? In places like Hawaii, fried Spam was, and still is, a cultural icon. A testament to the power of canned meat to bring people together. Step 1. Slice the Spam into thin strips. Pretend it's prosciutto if you close your eyes. Step 2. Dredge in flour, or panko breadcrumbs if you're feeling fancy. Step 3. Fry until crispy. Add a dash of soy sauce or teriyaki if you want to pretend you're in Tokyo. Step 4. Serve with rice and call it Hawaiian cuisine. Thanks to retro food nostalgia, fried Spam is now trendy again. Spam Benedict. Spam musubi. A block of rice topped with fried Spam, wrapped in seaweed. Spam tacos. Because everything is better in a taco. A dish so simple it's either culinary genius or a predecessor to food trauma. But either way, it's still better than eating it straight from the can. Fast forward to today, and these struggle meals are getting glow-ups at bougie bistros. Meanwhile, 70s moms are somewhere screaming, "I was a pioneer." So, tell me, which of these gourmet meals did you eat? Drop a comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deliciously questionable nostalgia.